So we often talk about the power of the tongue really being the purview. So we got two videos today really illustrate the importance and sometimes the potential danger of when that is unfettered. So let's take a look.
Longer extended video of this on my Patreon. But I wanted to discuss one of my mutuals talks about how disrespectful women are and how men baby proof the world for women, and essentially women don't have consequences for their behavior.
I think that's really nothing new in terms of what we hear in these spaces a lot. Um, doesn't really matter if you're looking at mainstream sort of media. I think we've done a disservice in pushing that narrative that, like, say, any one of these reality TV shows, where it really looks like all women do is get together, have brunch, and throw stuff at each other, and especially talk about the one woman that didn't make it.
And it shows. I had a crash course in this in my relationship with my girlfriend, right? I'm a woman, I can be disrespectful. I have, watched and observed my own behaviors, other women behaviors, and made the connections to my behaviors in order to grow and master myself and show up in the world better, mostly for myself, but for everyone else that I interact with too. So I got a crash course in women's behavior in my relationship with my girlfriend because
So we got to hear woman talking about doing the work, but talking about her relationship with her girlfriend. So no men involved here.
she would say very nasty spirited things, and it was very interesting to me, and it was very much a pearl clutching moment for me because I'm like, you don't realize, like, is this how women operate in the world? Like, this is dangerous, right? Like, I understand how women get in domestic situations, like Cassie, like Jasmine Brown, like Haley Bailey. Like, I understand how, and then like every other woman, because these women are wealthy, so majority of women do it for a lot less. I see how women get their ass whooped in relationships because women think that they're supposed to be able to say and do anything to any.
So not disagreeing with her point. Um, we I think the internet is really just flooded with examples of that, even down to various debates with should a man ever hit a woman, and you know, growing up, I was taught and it was that you never hit a woman, you never put your hands on a woman. But coincidentally, the same vein, if a man, put his hands on me, I'm supposed to stop. I'm supposed to end the fight. So over time, that sort of evolved to, I think, men having understanding or looking and seeing the examples of that sort of behavior, not necessarily in their life, but probably someone near to them, where it really seemed that women had the purview in violence and the purview and would face very little to no repercussions for like physical violence. In fact, it would take a simple call to the police to have a man removed from his house because violence occurred. It didn't really matter which way it occurred, which way it happened, but I think it was a good litmus test for most men saying, okay, I don't want this sort of outcome. So I think those of us that sort of became sort of aware or emotionally mature just realized, yes, the best bet here is to walk away. If that means walking away from your house, your things, whatever, your freedom and sometimes your life is worth infinitely more than any actually that's tangible. Let's continue.
Anyone, and you're just supposed to deal with it, right? So when they encounter someone that's not as emotionally intelligent and is not as self-mastered, you end up getting mollywopped. right? You get your ass
Again,
handed
we're
to
not
you.
condoning any of
You
that.
get kicked out on the street. Like I see how women end up getting their head knocked between the washer and the dryer because women are reckless with their mouth and with their actions. And they think they're just supposed to get away with it, and people are just supposed to deal with it. And like, I genuinely see how women can get their head knocked between the washer and the dryer by men and people in general because you think you're supposed to be able to say and do anything to anyone and they're just supposed to take it because you're a woman. And I'm like, ma'am, I'm a woman too. But I'm a woman with more situational awareness and survival instincts. Like, is this how you talk to someone that you financially depend on? Because that is crazy. I'm the person standing between you and the street, and you are mocking me in the bathroom with the door closed loudly where I can hear you.
So I think that that ties into a lot of talk about the 50-50 situation, and if men should be the providers. Um, and I think part of that provision, that thought of provision, we we thought that it would buy us some sort of loyalty, would buy us some sort of understanding in that context of, I'm doing this for you. Shouldn't I now be worthy, or shouldn't I be now deserving your of your respect? And the truth is, it's not that simple. It's a very becomes a very nuanced sort of conversation. That just because you do this for me does not mean you then become entitled to anything else from me, right? Um, so the second video we're about to get into really highlights more of the sort of the dangers of that tongue, of how women can often feel like entitled to say what they want without fear of consequence, without fear of harm. And again, I'm not condoning that you put your hands on a woman, but I think while women simultaneously will say, well, society will say that men are not emotionally intelligent, a large swath of them operate as if these men that they're encountering have emotional intelligence, know not to do these things, know that discretion is a better part of valor. But let's get into it.
Cause a nigga like this talking to me. What do you mean, nigga like what? I said, get the fuck out my face, right? What do you mean? Bitch ass nigga, get the fuck out my face. What you mean? Like, I'm bugged. What are you talking about? What do you need, baby? I don't know. Nigga, you got 3.5 seconds for this high heel going in your motherfucking eye socket. Go in my eye socket. Why would you do that? Do you think I'm playing?
That's straight up threatening physical violence. You know, I know, that some men would have taken you up on that opportunity.
Nigga, I ain't worried about nothing, man. You talking about eye socket all that? I ain't tripping on nothing. Okay, but if I say get out my face and you ain't got out my face, why the fuck you still in my face? Cause I'm trying to figure out why you trying to do.
And to be fair, to be absolutely fair, leave her alone. Like, it this isn't the opportunity for an exit interview. I think if you look at where you find people, you look at the style of dress, and we're judging a book by its cover here. But for the sake of safety, if you're looking and seeing, okay, she's not with the shits. Cool, cool. It's time to pack it up, go home, learn from it. You may not get any real data why she's doing this like you. The fact that she doesn't like you, completely continuing to sort of antagonize and push it when she's giving this very clear reaction. I think a better way to put it, when we hear a lot in these male spaces about men overcoming objections, I think this is why a lot of the good men say, I'm not trying to overcome any type of objection. If you tell me no, a no's a no. I'm good with that. I'm fine with that. I will bid you adieu, have a good night, and take that out. Even if I have to go home and cry into the pillow, that's fine. You know, lesson learned. Rather than trying to think that you had your mouthpiece was on this level where you convinced her, where she threatened to put her foot where the sun don't shine, that somehow, okay, I'll convince you to come out with me.
Because I don't want to talk to you, bro. Look how close you are to me.
I just fucked up. I just walked.
You been walked up, nigga. I said get the fuck away from me 3 times.
I ain't been there.
And you're still here. Just shut the fuck up and keep walking.
I'm sorry, I was just trying to talk to you.
No, I don't want to talk to you. Bye. The fuck, weirdo. Your mama, nigga. Your mama, your daddy. I can't hear what the fuck you're saying. Pussy, you're mad because you got rejected. Yeah.
Very well, he may be mad because he got rejected, and this could be an easy, clear-cut example of his ego's hurt. Absolutely, his ego's hurt. But taking it to that level where you're no longer being cognizant of your own safety because you feel entitled and protected to say what you want, however you want to say it, by whatever means you want to say it. So I think this is where we have to both be aware of how bad situations can turn out, especially when we know the environment that we're partaking in. The club environment in Houston. You don't have to be, even if you live under a rock and never open up a news article or media, you know from word of mouth how dangerous some of these situations can be. And when we take a macro step back and we look at the amount of, say, Black males in prison, a large, overwhelming large percentage of that are there because of ego and tangentially attached to a woman. Their pursuit of a woman, their desire for a woman has led them to make emotional responses that has led them down a path of violence. So again, let me know where you think I'm wrong. If you agree in the comments, like, subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one.